one of the things that's been really interesting working with this team and working on this whole project, which actually I just started doing BSPs and stuff, is that before we even like get into max, we already know what enemies we're talking about and what kind of geometry and what kind of elements we're going to be, employing so that the player can interact with these enemies. And so it's very interesting because every single thing you put into place, you're trying to figure out how, what impact it's going to have on the gameplay for that particular space.
During pre-production of our maps, we always try to define our gameplay before we actually move on to aesthetics. That way we can have our gameplay set in stone, and then we can spend the rest of our efforts trying to make the map look better and optimizing our frames per second. So if there was ever any change we had to do the gameplay, we can focus on that in pre-production rather than offset all of our art we already made for it.
In Lumoria, we've tried to keep our encounters very logical, and we've tried to, like, instead of just having, like, random enemies, we, like, place them and they actually do stuff.
Another thing we try to do in this map is we try to make each encounter unique. We try to create little details that made the world feel alive, as if there was actually something important happening, rather than just placing the enemies here and there randomly, just waiting for you, unlike another mapping team we know out there, wink wink, CMT, wink wink. We also built a nice Warhog encounter. We have like a little bridge scenario, and at first we just took a normal Warhog, but we soon found that to be a very frustrating and difficult encounter. So what we did was, we basically just replaced the Warhog and the rocket. We combined them into one super rocket Warhog, and that is the basis for our new encounter, and we tried it, and it was really fun. We had to tweak the Warhog a little because it wasn't very accurate, but now we've got a satisfactory encounter which makes everyone happy face.
In this storyline, you play the female character May. Your mission is to reclaim the Forerunner database planet of Lumoria and rescue the few scientists that have survived the Covenant bombardment. However, the story unfolds into something much greater.
Unban me, Dennis.